Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to our channel where we provide useful spiritual insights to help you navigate your twin flame journey. The twin flame journey is a profoundly transformative experience that can shift the very core of your being. It is a path filled with moments of profound connection, deep emotional intensity, and the promise of unparalleled spiritual growth. However, it is also a journey fraught with challenges, misunderstandings, and the potential for immense personal pain. At the heart of this journey lies the delicate balance between staying in alignment with the connection and knowing when to let go, at least temporarily, to preserve your own well-being. For many who embark on the twin flame path, the idea of separation feels like a contradiction. How could one possibly step away from a connection so divinely orchestrated? Yet, there are times when going no contact is not only necessary, but vital for the health and growth of both individuals involved. In these moments, choosing to cut contact is not an act of giving up. It is an act of profound self-love and respect for the sacred nature of the bond. In this narration, we will delve into the signs that suggest it is time to go no contact with your twin flame, and why such a decision, though challenging, can ultimately serve your highest good. Number 1. When the connection becomes emotionally overwhelming. The twin flame connection is unlike any other. It brings with it an emotional depth that can feel exhilarating and overwhelming in equal measure. However, when the emotional intensity tips into a space where it begins to feel unbearable, it is a clear sign that something needs to shift. Emotional overwhelm often manifests as feelings of anxiety, confusion, or a persistent sense of instability. You may find yourself overanalyzing every interaction, doubting your own worth, or becoming consumed by the highs and lows of the connection. In such moments, it is crucial to recognize that while the twin flame journey is meant to challenge and grow you, it is not meant to break you. Going no contact allows you to step back and regain your emotional footing. It provides the space needed to process your feelings without the constant influx of external triggers. This time apart is not about rejecting your twin flame or denying the connection. It is about prioritizing your emotional health and creating a foundation of inner stability. When you return to the connection from a place of balance, you are better equipped to navigate its complexities with clarity and grace. Number 2, when boundaries are consistently disrespected. A hallmark of any healthy relationship is mutual respect, and this is no different for a twin flame connection. However, the intensity of the bond can sometimes blur the lines of what is acceptable, leading to situations where boundaries are pushed or outright ignored. Whether it's through constant communication, emotional manipulation, or a lack of regard for your personal needs, boundary violations are a clear indicator that something is out of alignment. Setting and maintaining boundaries is a critical act of self-care. When these boundaries are repeatedly disregarded, it sends a message that your needs and well-being are secondary, which can erode your sense of self over time. In such cases, stepping back and going no contact is not an act of retaliation, but a necessary measure to reaffirm your worth and protect your inner peace. Going no contact gives both you and your twin flame the opportunity to reflect on the dynamic. It allows space for accountability and growth, ensuring that when and if the connection resumes, it does so from a place of mutual respect and understanding. Number 3, when the relationship becomes codependent. One of the most delicate aspects of the twin flame connection is striking the balance between unity and individuality. The bond is magnetic, often pulling both individuals into a deeply intertwined dynamic. While this closeness can feel comforting and affirming, it can also lead to an unhealthy level of dependence. Over time, one or both partners may start relying on the other for emotional stability, happiness, or validation, losing sight of their own inner power and autonomy. This dynamic, known as codependency, can become suffocating and prevent both individuals from fully realizing their potential. Codependency often sneaks in quietly, masked as devotion or an intense desire to maintain harmony. You might notice yourself avoiding your own needs to prioritize the relationship or feeling uneasy when you're apart from your twin flame. Decision-making may become paralyzed without their input, and you might feel an overwhelming fear of losing the connection. These patterns, while seemingly fueled by love, create an imbalance where one sense of identity becomes enmeshed with the other's. The twin flame journey is not meant to dissolve individuality, but to help each person rise into the fullest expression of themselves. Recognizing signs of codependency is an invitation to pause and reassess. Going no contact can be a necessary step to unravel the dependency and rebuild a sense of self. By taking this time apart, you give yourself the freedom to reconnect with your own identity, your passions, goals, and unique qualities that make you whole as an individual. Separation provides a vital opportunity to cultivate self-love and self-reliance. It encourages you to explore your own strengths and rediscover what brings you joy outside of the connection. This isn't about diminishing the bond you share with your twin flame. Rather, it's about creating a healthier foundation for the relationship to thrive. When both individuals approach the union from a place of completeness and self-awareness, the bond becomes a true partnership rather than a dependency. Ultimately, stepping away from codependency is an act of love, both for yourself and your twin flame. By valuing your own growth and individuality, you set an example of what a balanced and healthy relationship can look like. In the long run, the separation allows both of you to approach the connection with greater strength and authenticity, fostering a bond that uplifts rather than diminishes. Number 4, when there is a pattern of toxic behavior. Although the twin flame connection is often regarded as a divine and transformative bond, it doesn't shield either partner from the challenges of human imperfection. Emotional wounds, unhealed traumas, or unresolved fears can sometimes surface within the relationship, leading to toxic patterns. These may include manipulation, control, dishonesty, emotional outbursts, or a repetitive cycle of conflict and temporary reconciliation. Such behaviors left unchecked can damage both individuals and derail the spiritual purpose of the connection. It's essential to understand that recognizing toxicity within the relationship does not diminish the sanctity of the bond. Twin flames are meant to challenge and teach one another, but growth cannot occur in an environment where harmful behaviors are ignored or excused. Love, no matter how profound, cannot flourish in a space that lacks respect, trust, or safety. Acknowledging this truth is not about blaming or resenting your twin flame. It's about prioritizing your own well-being and fostering a healthy dynamic for both of you. Going no contact in the face of repeated toxicity is a powerful way to break free from unhealthy cycles. It creates the necessary distance for both individuals to reflect on their actions and begin their healing journeys separately. Toxic behavior is often rooted in pain or fear, and addressing these underlying issues requires introspection and time. Separation provides the breathing room needed to confront these inner struggles without the pressure or distraction of the relationship. By stepping away, you set a clear boundary that reinforces your worth and communicates that mistreatment, no matter the depth of the connection, is not acceptable. This decision is not about punishing your twin flame, but about creating space for healing and transformation. For true growth to occur, both individuals must be willing to take responsibility for their actions and actively work on breaking free from toxic patterns. Separation in this context is not a rejection of the bond, but a commitment to its higher purpose. It is a way of saying, I love you enough to step away so we can grow. With time and effort, the lessons learned during this period can lead to profound personal evolution. If and when the connection is revisited, it can emerge from a place of mutual respect, understanding, and emotional health. Even if the separation becomes permanent, it allows both individuals to move forward with greater clarity and strength, carrying the lessons of the connection into their continued spiritual journeys. Number 5, when the connection hinders personal growth. The twin flame connection is a sacred and transformative bond, yet its intensity can sometimes overshadow the individual growth of each partner. While the journey is designed to uplift both individuals, there are moments when it can inadvertently stifle progress. You may find yourself stuck in patterns of overthinking the relationship, neglecting your personal aspirations, or feeling emotionally drained to the point that your own development takes a back seat. This stagnation is not a reflection of the connection's worth, but rather an indication that both individuals might need time apart to refocus on their personal paths. Personal growth is vital not just for your own well-being, but for the health of the connection itself. When you ignore your dreams, passions, or inner healing, the energy of the relationship becomes unbalanced, and the dynamic may suffer. Taking a step back to recalibrate allows you to pour energy into areas of your life that may have been neglected, whether that's a career, a creative pursuit, or simply reconnecting with your authentic self. By prioritizing these aspects, you cultivate the foundation necessary to re-enter the relationship from a place of strength and fulfillment. It's important to remember that separation doesn't mean severing the bond permanently. Instead, it's a choice to honor the larger picture. It's an acknowledgement that sometimes stepping away is the only way to truly grow. When you allow yourself the freedom to evolve independently, you deepen your capacity to contribute meaningfully to the connection. Over time, the lessons you learn during this period of self-focus can ripple through the dynamic, bringing fresh energy and perspectives that strengthen the bond when it eventually comes back together. Growth also requires trust in yourself and in the process of the journey. By stepping away to nurture your individuality, you're affirming that the connection, no matter how powerful, does not define your entire existence. It becomes a complement to your life rather than a distraction from it. This shift in perspective enables both individuals to explore their potential fully and return to the union with a greater sense of purpose, balance, and alignment. Number 6. When communication breaks down completely. Communication serves as the lifeblood of the twin flame connection, allowing the depth and intensity of the bond to flow in a way that nurtures both individuals. However, when communication falters, whether through misunderstandings, avoidance, or unresolved emotional blocks, it can create a sense of disconnection and frustration. This breakdown can feel like an impassable wall between you and your twin flame, leaving both of you in a cycle of hurt or confusion. When communication breaks down completely, it's often a sign that unresolved issues need to be addressed individually before the connection can progress. Stepping into no contact doesn't mean giving up on the relationship. It means acknowledging that the current dynamic isn't conducive to healthy, meaningful dialogue. This space allows both individuals to pause and reflect without the pressure of immediate interactions. It gives each person the time and clarity needed to understand their own feelings, communication patterns, and emotional triggers. During this period of silence, it's possible to gain a broader perspective on the relationship. With the intensity of the bond temporarily set aside, you may begin to see what wasn't clear before, whether it's unspoken fears, unmet expectations, or a need for better boundaries. This time apart is a chance to work through those insights independently so that when communication resumes, it can do so from a healthier and more grounded place. No contact also fosters emotional maturity. It teaches patience, self-awareness, and the importance of listening, not just to your twin flame, but to yourself. When communication is eventually reestablished, it often carries a renewed sense of purpose. Conversations can become more intentional, open, and constructive because both individuals have taken the time to reflect and grow. In this way, no contact isn't the end of communication. It's a necessary pause that allows for transformation and deeper understanding. Ultimately, choosing to go no contact when communication breaks down isn't about shutting the other person out. It's about creating the conditions necessary for both parties to heal, grow, and reconnect in a way that honors the sacredness of the bond. The silence, though difficult, becomes a tool for strengthening the foundation of the connection, ensuring that when the time comes to speak again, the words are spoken with love, clarity, and authenticity. Choosing to go no contact with your twin flame is a decision rooted in strength, not weakness. It's a step taken not out of anger or despair, but out of a profound understanding that sometimes love requires space. This space isn't about abandoning the connection. It's about nurturing the individual growth that the bond ultimately demands. True love, especially one as transformative as a twin flame relationship, doesn't diminish in the absence of constant interaction. Instead, it often flourishes when both individuals are allowed to find their own paths back to themselves. Separation gives you the opportunity to reconnect with your inner world, to rediscover the essence of who you are beyond the relationship. It's a chance to heal wounds, strengthen your sense of self, and realign with your higher purpose. It allows you to step back and see the connection from a broader perspective, one that isn't clouded by immediate emotions or the intensity of daily interactions. More importantly, going no contact is an act of self-respect. It's a declaration to yourself and the universe that you value your emotional and spiritual well-being. It's a recognition that your journey, while intertwined with your twin flames, is still uniquely your own. By prioritizing your growth, you honor the sacredness of the connection because only when you are whole within yourself can you truly contribute to the union. For many, the fear of separation comes from the uncertainty it brings. What if the connection fades? What if the other person doesn't come back? But the truth is, a bond as divine as that of twin flames isn't easily severed. Separation doesn't mean the connection is lost. It means it is transforming. Trust that this time apart is part of the greater plan for both of you, designed to elevate you individually and collectively. During this time, lean into the lessons it offers. Embrace the solitude as a space for reflection, healing, and self-love. Allow yourself to feel the emotions that arise without judgment, knowing that every feeling, no matter how difficult, is part of the process. Let this period be a reminder that love is not about possession or proximity. It's about growth, respect, and freedom. Ultimately, going no contact is not the end of the twin flame journey. It's simply a different phase of it. Whether the separation leads to reunion or marks the beginning of a new path entirely, trust that it serves a purpose. You are exactly where you need to be, and your willingness to take this step reflects your courage and wisdom. In honoring yourself, you honor the connection, and in doing so, you open the door for whatever is meant to unfold next.